Hello and welcome. The first show of 2022 of the Brehz podcast. I am your host today, Kieron, and on this podcast, you know what we do. We discuss, we banter, and we debate all things football. Today, we're doing something a little bit different because there's no games this weekend. We are going to be talking about transfers, what our teams need, and what we think is going to happen. First and foremost, let's introduce the panel. To my, would that be my right? We have Spurs fan Ben. Below me, back in the building, we have Wolves fan Semp. And to his right, we have Chelsea fan Derek Chisora. How's everyone doing today? Everyone's good?
Yeah, all good, man.
Everyone's having a good start to 2022?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too
Did you
bad.
get 3
Okay.
points, Sam? Sam, did you secure 3 points at the start of the year?
I can't remember what the score was. I can't remember.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I feel we have to jump straight into it. Semp, as you can see, we're missing like a representative from a certain team. I think they support a team called Manchester. They're not United. Obviously, was it a couple of days ago they got whacked up, and we said, we can't have them on the podcast anymore because the way they were playing them is like, you know what I'm saying? They can't be representing us. Wolves smacked up Manchester United at Old Trafford. Was it the theatre of dreams, but not the theatre of 3 points? Take it away, Wolves.
It was certainly the theatre of our dreams because I mean, it was just the performance. It's the best performance of the season from a Wolves perspective. Like absolute best performance without a shadow of a doubt. I think Bruno deserves a hell of a lot of credit because tactically he got it spot on against United, and it really annoyed me as well actually that all of the pundits, all of the reports coming out after the game was focused on how poor United were, not how good Wolves actually were. Like we went to Old Trafford to play football. We went to Old Trafford to win the game, and not many teams will go and do that. But we did. We did, and we.
I'm gonna join you, Ben. I'm gonna join you. You deserve it, man. You played well. Played well.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these fans that are biased, but I think I've proven that. Whilst being in football Brehz, I'm not biased at all. We were very fortunate not to be 1-0 down prior to us scoring that Bruno Fernandes chance. But football is about luck. Football is about luck at times, especially in those games. We were very fortunate not to be 1-0 down. That Bruno Fernandes chance clangs off the bar. We then go 80th minute. João Moutinho, 35 years of age, my king, like showing Manchester United midfielders actually how to play the game at 35 years of age. That's what it means to play for a club. That's what it means to play for the shirt. And
very true.
I mean, Max Kilman as well, like all the Wolves players, but Max Kilman has been an absolute revelation this season. To think Nuno was going to sell him at the end of last season, beginning of this season. If Nuno was still in the club, Max Kilman wouldn't be. He wanted to sell him. That guy, considering he came for £50,000, we paid £50,000 for Max Kilman. He's one of the best young centre-halves in the league, for me. One of the best young centre-halves in the league, and Roman Saiss, you all know my opinion on Romain Saiss. I don't rate him, but he's making me eat my words. The guy has been phenomenal this first part of the season. We're going to miss him massively when he go now because he's gone to the African Cup of Nations. Props to him, represent. I'm all for it. Really hope he does well, but we're going to miss him massively. But
well said.
Literally Monday, one of the highlights of my supporting career as a Wolves fan, literally like to go to Old Trafford. It was 40 years in the making. Never secure 3 points in that manner. It was the manner in which we secured 3 points, to be honest.
You're still being humble, bruv. Why are you so humble?
I know. You know what? I like it though. I like it. Look at him sipping. He knows he feels good. But you know what? Saying that though, there was quite a few good games over the weekend. I think we need to go over to the big game of the weekend, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. it was a very unpredictable game. I didn't think it would be the way it panned out. But one thing I would say, it was a very entertaining game, especially for us neutrals. Kadus, being a supporter of Chelsea, how did you find that game?
Yeah, before I even get into that, I just wanted to say, adding on to what Sam said about Wolves, also a big shout out to Ruben Neves and Podence as well. I thought they both ran United ragged. And I think, yeah, credit to Bruno. I mentioned this to you before when he first appointed quite early. I thought that is a good signing by Wolves. I think that they were heading in the right direction. So, big up to Wolves. And yeah, we shouldn't be talking about United because that team right now is in the mud. So, it is what it is.
What's your oh, sorry, United. I thought you had said something.
Yeah. But so Chelsea Liverpool, man. It was a roller coaster of emotions, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. The past couple of weeks were a bit mad. We had a little tell-all by Romelu Lukaku. So it was one of those ones. And actually, I think it was Semp as well before. He said it could be one of those. It could be one of those ones where if Tuchel plays his cards right, then he could use that as a way to galvanize the squad, and we really saw that. I think for any Chelsea fan, normally around this time, around December, January, you're kind of looking at that stage where there seems to be a dip in form, and normally with the club we're quite trigger happy. So you normally seeing a lot of managers under pressure, and we've seen it before with Conte, we've seen it with Mourinho before he got sacked the second time, where players tend to down tools. So I was a bit worried, and I was hoping that we weren't going down that route. But one thing that I did see was there was just passion. There was passion. There was drive. Obviously, we were 2-0 down. I mean, the first goal, Trevor Chalobah should have done better, but we can give him that slack because I think the first part of the season, I think he's been probably one of the best young centre backs in Europe, let alone the Premier League. I think he's been phenomenal. So he's got a bit of credit in the bank. But to then come back 2-0 down in the first half, and then in the second half to dominate, we were unlucky to not win, in my opinion. And the thing is, as well, look, you're always going to get that threat with Salah and Mane playing for any team. They're going to, they're always going to have an opportunity. But one thing that I do love is that we ran them ragged. And not even that, big shout out to Kovacic, big shout out to Kante. That double pivot was phenomenal, man.
And what a goal as well from Kovacic as well.
Mane should have been sent off though, Kadus.
Yeah. I mean, look, yeah, he should have been sent off. I mean, people are trying to kind of go into little deep dives and try and sidestep the situation. But the fact of the matter is, we saw even in the slow motion there was that movement of his arm. And to be honest with you, it is what it is. But Anthony Taylor, we know what the history is like with him in our club. There's been a few more times where some decisions should have been made, which he did call. But it is what it is, man. I think one of the biggest things that we saw, well, as a Chelsea fan, was the fact that we had a bit of adversity, and normally we would have just kind of put our tail between our legs, and we would have, we're just kind of hoping that we don't concede anymore. But the fact is, we controlled the game. We scored the 2 goals, and we were unlucky not to get the 3 points. But we moved.
I think Chelsea deserve more credit. Not saying that you're not giving them enough credit, Kadus, but I do think they deserve more credit than what, especially the media are giving, because to perform in that manner after what had gone on in the media with Lukaku and everything, that's not an easy thing to do. We spoke, on the previous podcast surrounding mentality and stuff of players. We touched on Kane's mentality and a Manchester United squad mentality. To put in a performance like that from Chelsea.
Yeah, but hold on. It's one man, bro. Kadus was moving mad. Kadus has got nothing to do with the rest of the squad. Don't try to do that. No.
You know what?
I'm not playing.
Listen. If Lukaku played and they still won in that manner, then I would say, okay, cool. Yeah, but Lukaku wasn't even in the bench, bruv. Man wasn't even present.
Which is the right.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
I'll tell you. Let's move from there. Just because I'm a bit skeptical about time. Ben, I think actually Mr. Woolstar himself brought it up, speaking about the man like Kane. Ben, I remember a couple of weeks ago you said that he's going to start scoring after that Liverpool game, and I think he scored 1 goal since. But
because he's only played one other match. Listen, he scored the next match.
And you didn't let me finish. Go on. What I was trying to say is, even though he's not scoring, your Conte has got you grinding out results. So watching like the Spurs game, I don't think you guys are playing fantastic, but you're still getting the results. It was like when did you score? It was 80th something minute with a header from Sanchez.
It's the mentality. Conte is changing the player mentality. The squad is still average, bang on average. Do you know what I mean? We've got average players, but he's changed the mentality. He's getting them to believe in themselves a bit more. I mean, come on, man. He's making man like David Sanchez play like he's some next level centre back. Do you know what I mean? So he's changing the mentality of the team. He's obviously, he's very vocal on the touchline, which is really good and really helpful. And it's just keeping their heads up and keeping them believing that they can still walk away with points. And that's what they did. So, yeah, man, it's good. It's good. I'm happy.
Well said. You know what? Someone else is happy. Me myself as an Arsenal fan, even though we got beaten, it wasn't a loss in the typical Arsenal fashion when you come up against a big team.
Best Arsenal performance of the season.
I agree. And how can the crazy thing is, like, how can you actually say that and you still come away with a loss? For me, it's crazy, but
because it's City though, bro. It's City.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I watched that game, and I was in absolute awe. The fact that you did that with Arteta at home isolating, the fact that you put that type of performance in against City. You know, this group of young players at Arsenal, this sort of youth revolution, it's really special to witness. You know, and I'm categorizing it in terms of how special it is to the Invincible season that you had. Like, that's how special this revelation is. Now, I'm not saying that this young group of players is going to go on to be the Invincibles, but it's that sort of feeling. Like, as a neutral, it's that sort of euphoria around it, and to perform like that against City was phenomenal. Genuinely,
I'm not gonna lie. We need to have you on every week because you're gassing me. So we're gonna leave it there.
Nah, but he gasses everyone.
Not your face. Let him talk, man. Wolves.
Let me just add to that.
Don't bring it down, okay? Don't bring it down.
I'll bring it down slightly. Because one of the biggest things that we saw over the weekend, which was Arsenal-esque, was there's still players in there that you need to kind of let go of. Xhaka should not still be playing for that team anymore. And Gabriel, he shouldn't have been sent off. And those are the things that Arteta is going to have to try and reel out of the club, because you do tend to be quite self-destructive in that sense. But yeah, I agree with Sam. I think the performance was amazing. Martinelli was dope, even though he missed some chances. But I think you've got a nice base to build up from there.
Nicely said. So before we get into our transfers today, let's go over to the comments. So up first we have Huntley C. Super CFC.
Man, like Huntley.
What's going on? You know Huntley, yeah? What's going on, Huntley? Yeah. Welcome.
Seb knows Huntley. Huntley.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted the link into another group.
Hey, okay. So we got the STEM fans coming in. Up next we have Mr. Casey. Is this Casey?
Casey.
Oh my days, bro. Start again. Listen,
celebrity in the building.
I took a picture of him for the first time, like a couple of months ago, man. I was like, wow, this guy's famous. Like, all my days. Hi, Casey. My name's Kieron. I'm not sure if you remember me, but it's nice to meet you. Huntley again. Man United in the mud. Facts. Ben multitasking, man like Casey. Yeah, bigging him up again. Ben again. Huntley. Chelsea are dead. Okay, Casey's gonna come for you. James. Ayo. Bun all the other fans. James. Bun you. James again. Chelsea are finished. Put our heading downhill too. Kafus is delusional. Again, it's all coming from a Man United supporter, so I'm not even going to let you guys comment. Ben just laughing. What's James saying again? It's funny how Brehz gets so excited when United are in a downtime.
He's been down for 5 years, man.
Yeah, and he wants to bring back Book as well. You know what, James, sorry, James, you're just ranting at the moment, man. I know you're feeling it. I know your heart isn't true at the moment, so we're here with you, man. When you're ready, just come and talk to us. We have we've got a new person here. Is Alias. I told before United is putting themselves into trouble if Ralph doesn't work. To bring in a manager for short term could go wild if he starts failing. What would United do if Ralph doesn't work? They would cry. That's what they would do.
Jeez.
Hello, Alex. Man thought David Sanchez was a good point to make. Wow.
It
David
was. He
Sanchez,
scored the
man.
winning goal, and
I
he's
know.
better than Rudiger.
Hang on a minute.
know.
Hang on a minute. I've just seen a comment from Ben.
Better than
You're gonna come to it in a second, Kieron. That is absurd, Ben. If you're being serious, that is an absolute
I
absurd
say
opinion.
it with my chest.
Please
right
tell me
now,
you are joking.
Right
Come on,
now,
this one.
he's performing.
Yeah, that
right,
one.
Come on,
Please
this
tell
one.
me you are
right
joking.
now, he's performing better than Rudiger. Right
No.
now.
I'm
Right
out,
now.
I'm out.
No, you know what's
Okay.
funny though. No, you know what's funny though. Ben actually said, I think it was last season that Højbjerg was better than Kante. So this is the delusion that you just have to let these guys gas themselves, man. Honestly, you have to let them gas themselves.
Boy.
It is what
But
it is.
you know what?
Champions League winner Rudiger.
Comment if you disagree. Challenge me. Get me the stats. Last 3 matches.
Yeah,
Three
but
matches.
but
Get me
Alex,
the stats.
I'm watching
you're a
you.
stats guy, but also there's your eye test as well, bro.
Alex, get me the stats. Rudiger versus
Sanchez.
Sanchez. Let's go.
You know that being said, though,
was better than Kante. So
it was just. I think let's go on to our transfer talk now, boys. Let's get stuck into it. Let's start with Chelsea first. So, Chelsea don't usually spend big in January. I think the last time you went out and got a big player was it Pulisic, but I think you loaned him back.
yeah.
And I think the same thing. Did you loan Higuain as well that same season?
Yeah, but obviously
That might have been a
was
winter transfer.
that's a free transfer.
Okay, so I would say with the type of spending power you have, do you think Chelsea would maybe spend big this month?
Well, I don't think so. I think we're going to try to. Obviously, we need wing backs at the moment, so it looks like we're trying to recall some options. And Chelsea's just scored. I think we're just trying to recall some options at the moment.
Oh, sorry,
so we're looking at
stop there a sec. I'm not sure if you heard him, Ben, but he said Chelsea just scored.
Yeah, Havertz just scored. It was a really good goal.
Scored against Spurs.
Yeah, really good goal as well.
Sorry, Kadus. Now you carry on.
Anyway, yeah. So
my bad.
Why I'm here sitting on this podcast instead of watching the game, and you're doing this to me.
Listen, man,
my bad.
No, it's okay.
And
I'll do a Kadus next time and just ask to do it an hour early.
Anyway, continue. Right, yeah, no, but we need to get some wing backs in. So it looks like we are potentially going for Lucas Digne from Everton, which seems like a good shout, and potentially bringing back one of our academy players for the right wing back position. I think it's not Ian Matson. I forgot his name now, but yeah. So those are the areas that we need to cover. One of the other areas I believe is a DM, which I think that obviously we've seen it. We've had injury problems with Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho kind of carrying an injury. So yeah, we need to kind of look at maybe bringing in a DM. But besides that, I think we're okay, man. We're probably we've got a lot of depth in the squad. The only issue has been the quality, but you know, I think we have to keep it short and sweet. DM and ring back is what we do.
Have you seen the reports? Have you seen the reports surrounding Tagliafico to Chelsea? I think I would prefer him to Lucas Digne because I think he's more of a Chilwell mould than Lucas. He's like a very much a replacement for Chilwell. And in terms of DM, I think there's only one DM that Chelsea can go for, and that's Declan Rice.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard the reports as well. I didn't know if they were. I don't know how true they were. And the only reason why I would still say Lucas Digne is just because he's got that Premier League experience. And right now, we need someone who's used to the Prem. I think with Tagliafico, there's way too many variables with him, and we just need someone that's going to, can kind of slot into that position straight away. And yeah, Declan Rice. Yeah, we've also looked at Tuchemi. I'm butchered that name.
Yeah.
But, So that's one of the other names. But Declan Rice for sure, man. I want him back. I don't think that we'd be looking at spending 90 mil for him in January. Right? That's the only thing.
Maybe the summer.
You never know.
And plus, the way that West Ham are at the moment, I don't think they'll want to let go of their star man as well so early on to the season when they could still fight and possibly get a European spot as well.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, let's move on to Spurs. Any rumors about incomings or outgoings with you, Ben?
Yeah, man, we desperately need a centre back and a creative midfielder. So there's a few rumors, but
Ben's tone is really low at the moment. You okay, bro?
Still nothing. No, I'm not. No,
he's trying to perk up. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Listen.
I'm good.
I'm just trying to figure out why Alex is asking me about a goal when he knows I'm on the podcast live. Like,
they're getting to you, Ben. They're getting to you, man.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
you did it. You did it, Alex. You got him.
Innit? Listen, now we've got a few. I think my favorite at the moment is what's his name is linked to us. For Florentina's center striker, because obviously we need a striker as well. So that's one of my favorites because obviously we're relying on Kane a bit too much. My other the latest interesting one is us being linked to Continue. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure I'm interested in that. That guy just got too much injury going on, so I don't see the point. It won't be
better than all your options at the moment, though.
Not really. We've got actually our biggest link and our most potential link is Kessie from AC Milan. So I'd rather have that.
That would be a good.
I'd rather have that.
That would
be he's a big player. He's a big player.
He's linked to United as well.
But he's got a better relationship with. Sorry,
is AC Milan not still in Europe at the moment?
No, I think they've gone. I think
Europa League. I think.
Yeah, they're down.
Yeah, they're still in Europe though. I don't think again, just like Declan Rice with West Ham. I don't think AC Milan are in a position to let any of their big players go just yet.
I think it depends on money. I think if the magic number gets hit, like for Declan Rice, I think it's 90, 100 million. If it gets hit, West Ham are accepting. A lot
of Italian clubs are desperate for money right now. So that's the way I see it. So if the right price is put on him, I don't see why he can't come. So, but if it's not him, we've got the centre back from AC Milan as well. He's dope. What's his name? Romagnoli. So that's another one potential. But really, I think we just need to focus on the centre back as a first point of call.
Don't you have Dyer? Don't you have Dyer as a centre back?
Yeah, but bruv, look, he's out for COVID, and then we have to put Tanganga there, and then we got Davies. Davies is not really good either. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we play with 3 centre backs, so we always play Dyer, Sanchez, and Davies, and he's.
Don't you think you need more than one centre back though, Ben?
Do
you honestly think?
No. Listen.
And Davinson Sanchez.
No, I don't. But we're talking about January. Do you know what I mean? We're talking about January. You can't bring more. You know what I mean? At the moment, just thinking, okay, what can we get in January that's going to help improve the team? 1 centre back, 1 midfielder, 1 attacker. Those are really the 3 that we just need to get to just strengthen that a little bit. And then summertime, we'll go wild.
You get the full 11. So that being said, seeing as the link between Spurs and Wolves, Semp, you went from Nuno to Bruno. So you've had Nuno, now you got Bruno. Obviously he came in the summer, wasn't able to instill the type of players that he wanted. This January, do you think he's gonna go out and get a couple players, or do you think he's gonna try and ride out what he has?
I already know he's not. So we signed today midfielder from Grasshopper for 500,000, but he's going straight back on loan to back in Switzerland, straight back on loan. I don't know the thinking behind that purchase, to be honest, because he's 26. He's not a youth player. So it's not like we're bringing in a youth player and then reloaning him back. I honestly don't get Wolves' recruitment policy, to be honest. We need a centre-half. So they've brought back Dion Sanderson from Birmingham. They've recalled the loan. We needed cover at wing-back. They've brought back Ryan Jarvis from loan, both of which have had very, very impressive halves to the season in the Championship. Dion Sanderson has had some injury issues, but hopefully he can come in and be cover, because I'm hoping and I'm praying that Willy Bolly stays fit enough to take over Romain Saïss's spot while he's at the African Cup of Nations. We desperately need a midfielder. As much as I love, and he will forever be a legend for me, Jean Moutinho can't keep doing it. He's 35. He can't keep doing it. We need a midfielder.
The baby agrees with you, man. You need that midfielder.
Sorry. So yeah. And I also, we desperately need a striker. We desperately need a striker.
You know what's funny? Talking about Wolves, Adama has been heavily linked to Spurs. I don't think we need him. I actually don't. We're trying to sell Bergwijn. We're trying, but apparently you want 40 mil as well. I'm like, no.
I
No.
will gladly take 20 million. Like, Adama Traore is the most frustrating footballer ever. He could be a world class winger. The problem is, and I don't know how. Maybe Conte can do it. Maybe it is a manager thing.
I fear Conte will want to play him as a wing back, a right wing back, and I'm just like,
he played wing back under Nuno, and it didn't work. It didn't work. He played wing back under Nuno. It did not work. Adama, he could be one of the world's best as a winger. He's got to add.
Bro, we lost him there.
Sorry. Yeah, so he could be one of the world's best. The way he beats players, his pace, his strength, his dribbling, but he's so inconsistent finishing wise and stuff. He's just so inconsistent. Like, excuse me.
Yeah, he's getting frustrated as well, man. Inconsistency, just.
Sorry, guys.
I think you should let him go to the Magic Mike experience, man. The way this guy's already got baby lotion in every week. This guy's slippery, he's like a fish.
Like, I mean, against United, he came on, and I think he was that spark, and it showed. He basically he pretty much got the assist to the goal, basically. So, but you can't have that sort of player on the bench. He needs to be starting games. He needs to be scoring. He needs to be adding numbers and assists.
Very true. Very, very true. You know what? Let's move on to Arsenal now. But what I want you guys to do in the meantime is, after Arsenal, I want you all to tell me one position you think your team should go for this January, and if you know of a player, ideally who you think that player should be. So, as you all know, Arsenal spent really big this summer. I think we spent the most in the league. We bought 5 players. We were laughed at the time because the type of players that we went for, they were either deemed of not a high caliber or they weren't known, i.e. Tomiyasu. Or not for known for what position they play. I remember Kadus saying we don't know what position he plays. But they seem to be playing well, and they seem to be playing a pivotal role for Arsenal. In terms of things at the moment, we're linked to a lot of players. Like every time there's a transfer window, we're just linked to so many players. So we're linked to Renato Sanchez from Lille, Jonathan David from Lille. He's a striker. Like yourself, Ben, Philip Coutinho, or to be continued, from Barcelona. The Liverpool fans are going to be fuming, but we're also linked to Gini Wijnaldum from PSG at the moment. Same as you again, Ben. Dustin Vlahovic.
Yeah.
Vlahovic. If you know how to say it, just give me that. You know the striker on Florentina, that cat.
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic. We need Mukta out here, man, to translate for me. And also, thank you, because my tongue was not getting that. And also, I know some Arsenal fans will be happy, especially man like Johnny.
Let's be honest, though, Arsenal can't pay 85 mil for him, though.
These are players we're linked for. I don't think we're going to get anyone, and also we're also linked to. Sorry, I don't think if we're to get these players. I think the most we might be able to do is a loan or maybe a swap deal. We're also linked to Aaron Ramsey from Juve, which I think we should leave that alone. But also outgoings, we've got quite a few outgoings. We've got Balogun might be going out on loan to Middlesbrough. We've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who should be on his way to Roma. Roma just playing.
Yeah, it's already done. It's a done deal.
Yeah, I don't think they really want him, man. They're just playing games of our hearts.
Jose confirmed it.
No, but I mean, but look at all the flirting they had with Xhaka over the summer, and now they're going for Ainsley. He's crazy.
Ainsley's gone though. Ainsley's already gone.
He's gone.
To Roma, but look, I'm saying they didn't. Anyway, Aubameyang to Newcastle. I'm hearing there might be a loan with a possible permanent deal at the end of the loan deal, and Sead Kolasinac to Watford. So that's what I've been hearing. I'm not sure if you guys in the comments have heard anything different. If you have, please let us know.
There's some interesting comments in there, by the way. Let's go through them.
Let me try, because I'm trying to be nice with timing. See, I would have been done by now, but you told me to go to comments, so it's your fault now.
Just skip through some of them. There's some good ones.
All right, so let's see.
So Alice made some interesting comment.
Which
Or
one?
Alias.
So which one?
Last two were quite good. Last two or three.
Okay, let's give Alias some.
But
competition.
before you do that, just to touch on, do you guys know much about Jonathan David? That would be an exceptional signing. The guy literally is touted as like the Canadian R9. The guy is nuts. Like genuinely, he's
pacey, right?
He's pacey, but he's also he's built. He's so good, and he's tearing the French league up with Lille. Like honestly, he's so good. That would be an exceptional signing if Arsenal could get that.
Well, for me, I think going to Lille makes sense because, in the past 2 seasons we've gone for Pepe, and we've also gone for Gabriel Magalhaes as well. So to go for a third player, I think we've got a good working relationship with them. So I won't be surprised if you go from and we maybe try to do a swap deal as well to try and get him in. But let's look at what Alias is saying. Whatever new player comes in, they will just find their group in United and just play the way they like. United can never be on top level again if senior players and agents threatens club all the time. Very true. James saying Kieron is hating, man. I'm not hating. Sorry, James. I'm not hating, man. I'm here for you, James. Alias again. That brings negative influence in new and young players. United needs to go all out and get old overpriced players and bring new project for long term to work with new and young players. Shane is saying Milan laughed at a swap deal idea for Kessie and Ndombele.
I would too.
Boy, I think
but then
Ndombele's
somehow
decent.
he's going Barcelona. Ndombele's going
Yeah, but
Barcelona.
Barcelona are joke as well. So let's not forget.
Alias again. If Ralph wants to save his job, he needs to get rid of Ronaldo, Harry, Martial, Pogba, Bruno, Luke, Donny, Sancho, Maguire, De Gea. I'm just adding that on. They're not playing for the club. You're better off bringing in teen players. Raw.
A few of those names shock me.
Why do I feel? Hey, bro, I know who this is. Is this OS? This OS, isn't it?
Boy, Shane. And Xhaka had been linked to the UFC. Raw, man like Shane. So before we wrap up today, let's go over to you one at a time. I want you to just tell me 2 things. 1, the position you think your team should go to strengthen in this January transfer window, and 2, who you think that player should be. Because you look the most stressed, let's go with you first, Ben.
Do you know what? I was going to go for a centre back, but no. If we can, and if we can put all our power into it, we need midfielder, Kessie. If Kessie comes in, he'll make a big difference. But that's what I'm saying. If not, then get a 6th centre back.
Cool. Okay, so you kind of defeated the object as well. The objective, which is anyway. Let's go over to you,
Kessie.
Kadus, my friend. So 2 things. What position you think you should strengthen this month, and who ideally would you like to go for?
Left wing back. I think that's the area that's most problematic at the moment. And just based off of the availability, I would say Lucadinho from Everton. Okay,
nice. Semp, same question over to you.
Centre mid for me, and I'm gutted we didn't get him in the summer. I don't know if we're going to be able to get him in January, but we actually had a deal done with Renato Sanchez in the summer. The only reason that it didn't go through is because the club pulled on it because he was out for a month. So so I'd love us to go back in for Renato, but there's a lot more competition now from a lot, from the likes of Arsenal, etc. So I'd love us to see. I'd love to see
Renato Sanchez would be. If Wolves gets Renato Sanchez, man,
be incredible.
Boy.
Very, very true. I'm going to keep my short and sweet. I would say Arsenal, we need a striker, and I think there's only one person for the job. I think we'll play him as a false 9, and I'll go with Phil Jones. So yes, thank you guys. This has been today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been Kieron, your host. Big thank you to Ben. Big thank you to Semp. And even though he's been watching the game intensely, a big thank you to Kadus for being with us.
Shane,
Make
that comment
sure-
is so wild. I've been watching it, reading it. It's wild.
Please make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. And we'll be back with you again next week with another live podcast. And we should have another podcast drop in sometime this week. Stay tuned, take care, and enjoy 2022. Peace.
Jules, where are you?